What's going on, guys? I want to welcome you back. Season 1 in Marvel Rivals is off to a hot start, a record-setting start, actually, which is crazy, and there's well more than half the roster getting hit with balance, new heroes, new metas. There's a lot to keep up with, right? So today, I'm going to help you find your main for Season 1. Whether you play Duelist, Support, Tank, we got you covered. Heroes that are hot and on the rise, and ones that were good from last season. Let's jump in. Now let's go ahead and start off with the unsung heroes, the big boys, bullet sponges, Vanguards. We appreciate you, and we look towards last season first. Now, a couple heroes are going to stay the same as great mains. Doctor Strange being featured in pretty much every third game. There's 33% play rate and competitive play. Guy's still really good. The nerfs did not do all that much. Simply put, guys, having him as just an anchor, a wall for your team, having his shield to protect you from plenty of ultimates in the game, you're going to notice when you don't have him on your team, and your team's going to appreciate you that much more for playing him. Now, other than Doctor Strange, we also got Thor from last season maintaining his place as a really good main moving forward. And that's not just because he got a buff to his ultimate, really strong buff at that. He can't be CC, which is a big change to his overall just survivability, dependability of landing some crucial kills. But on top of that, Storm is going to be a big winner we're going to talk about, and obviously good team up there. And our next hero, Captain America. So new hot on the rise Captain America, once one of the worst tanks to pick in the game. The dude is a survival beast. This guy can survive so long, and we're going to talk about this a couple times today. I barely want to say it, but we're in this meta where there's 3 supports on a team, and they all can help keep Cap alive. It's so hard for them. There's only a couple of ways to deal with this, and I'll mention that when we talk about the DPS. It's going to take a little bit of time to perfect his mechanics and his ultimate role on the team, but once you feel confident in quick play, you're going to love this guy. Now, my last suggestions for the mains is going to be Venom. Again, it's no coincidence both these guys got buffed, but Venom, I almost can't believe it. He has a very simple kit, and he's so disruptive, but now this guy is that much more of a menace. First of all, his shield getting buffed up, getting a bigger percent in his missing health as bonus health is a massive upgrade. His ultimate got more damage, and he's that much harder to kill now that we have a small tone down in Hela and in Hawkeye and some other heroes. Venom is probably one of the most straightforward tanks to play and learn, and he's definitely doing his job well this season. We've got great dive comps as well, and so obviously he's going to serve his purpose in there. So this is it, guys. This is the season to learn disruption, get the slows, get the constant poke damage, dive those supports, and piss them off. So the TLDR, guys, is Doctor Strange is still the tank to anchor down the team. It's so hard to replace him, but there's so much more dive compositions where Venom and Captain America might fit a little bit better, as well as Thor. Now, next up, let's go and talk about the Duelists, and we start with last season. There's a lot of heroes that didn't get touched at all, and they're still very good going into Season 1. The first to highlight is the team up with Ironman. Ironman did not get touched. This team up did not get touched, and until you get up to Diamond and there's no bans, this is what you want to abuse. If you're playing duo, go Hulk, go Iron Man. It is just a melt beam. The pros consider it the most DPS in the game. If you know what you're doing, this guy's insane and is one of the best team ups. No, it's the best team up in the game. Now, other than Iron Man, talking about last season, Magik. This is the season of Magik, guys. It's one of my most played heroes in the game. If you guys didn't see the hot list, one of the highest win percentage heroes, heck, the highest outside of Hela. So very good hero, and she got buffed in her ultimate. She's not all that much complex to play, especially if you just put a little bit of time in her. Her dive potential, her distraction, damage output, and her pick assassin ability on supports is second to none as well. Love Magik, and I expect to see a lot more Magik mains. Can't recommend her enough. But going into the new season, we've got a lot of heroes that got major bump ups, and they just feel completely different. Now, first up, guys, is Moon Knight. This guy, man, they buffed his ultimate, making it from probably towards the bottom tier of how good it was to easily one of the better ones in the game. Heck, I play a lot of Loki. I love stealing this ultimate because of how free the kills are and what they did to it. They gave it so much more DPS potential, dropping this on payloads, or more importantly, combining this with Groot on a triple support team and dropping it. It can kill through Luna ults, doesn't matter. This is one of the best ultimates in the game now, and Moon Knight is at the top of my list. For main recommendations, good damage, pretty solid mobility, and outside of dive compositions, you're looking pretty good to keep yourself alive. But if I bring up Moon Knight, we have to talk about Storm. I have not seen enough people talking about Storm going into Season 1. If you've played any competitive at all so far, you probably see her 500 times more than you did last season. She was in nearly no games. Heck, I had teammates asking me, what did she even do? Which is a fair point. No one was playing Storm, and she got massive buffs in how fast her projectiles go, her damage in pretty much all aspects. And then on top of that, characters like Thor and Captain America that team up got buffed up. And so you're going to have yourself a much better time as Storm. Takes a little bit of practice on how to play her and getting her support slash duelist kind of mechanics down in speed ups and damage buffs. But tie that together with one of the stronger ultimates in the game that gave her way more survivability. And hell, if we're being honest, people just don't know how to play against her as well. Storm is trending up, man, in just all aspects. I expect her to be pretty high when we do another tier list. I'm moving right along, guys. Punisher, who's always been pretty solid. He's done his job right, but Rocket Raccoon had got himself a nice little bump up, and I'm not going to mention Rocket in the support category. I can mention him here. I would say playing Punisher or Bucky with Rocket is one of the best ways to go when playing with a team. If you don't want to do Iron Man Hulk, this is the team up to abuse. Rocket's healing got that much better. His beacon, his damage, his push potential, and then just Punisher getting more accurate, Bucky getting more buffs than he did nerfs. Very solid team up to go with and a good DPS for consistent, reliable, and familiar damage. And then last but not least, guys, Namor. As I was doing some of these mastery guides with some of the top players, every single one of them could not believe that Namor got even better somehow. He's great at high ranks, but this guy is the most easy character to learn, to get ranks going. The turrets do so well, it stops flanking characters from doing just about anything, keeps Wolverine, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Magik, all these flank-heavy characters in check. But also, he got better. Luna and that team up, the turrets got better, the placements are easier. Outside of one small thing I would say is that Invisible Woman can hard counter his ultimate pretty easily by hiding behind a shield. But Namor, guys, character to learn in my opinion. Good damage, good survivability, can protect your backline, which is something that causes most teams to lose in my opinion, is supports going down. You got to consider Namor to main this season. Now, last but not least, guys, we've got the supports, the strategists, and if I'm being dead honest, all of them are pretty damn good. I mean, as far as how easy they are to main and who to learn, there is obviously a scale there. You can't really go wrong, but I want to go ahead and throw my hat into the ring of what I would recommend for this season. Now, if you don't know, allow me to preach about Loki, my favorite character. He also did wonders in the championship grand finals. If you didn't see that, you can check out that video. Loki, I think this is the season where he just blows up in S tier. Next tier list, spoiler, I'm putting him at the top of the top. His survivability, his abilities in general, the double Luna ults, the double support ults, his damage output, his team up synergy. There's nothing wrong with the guy. And people outside of a tougher learning curve, which we'll get you covered soon with the guide, this is the guy to main. If you play with people that like Luna, or you see Luna in lobbies, hella out there everywhere still, these are characters that go perfect with the hero. And learning his cooldown management of his rune stones, or when to heal versus when to damage, it won't take too many games to start getting his kid down. Plus, you're gonna play with the new Battle Pass skin, which is dope. But his voice, guys, it gets annoying fast. I gotta tell you that. I wish you could go back to his other voice. I don't know. I at least hate it. It's not familiar for me. Maybe that's why I don't like it. But moving on. Besides the point. Next up in the main department, we've got Invisible Woman. And typically, I try to stay away from the new heroes all the time. You're going to see that a lot in people's recommendations, although Mr. Fantastic good as well. Invisible Woman, I think, is an awesome person to learn within the game if you can lock her. Everybody's trying to play her right now. Her survivability is second to none, one of the most important things as a strategist because of her invisibility, but also great against people trying to flank you. Great for team setups. Her ultimate is busted. Her healing's good. Her damage isn't bad. Her shields are solid. Little clunky, but solid. And she looks good. There's a lot going for Invisible Woman, and I expect her to be towards the top of supports. And it won't take long to perfect her mechanics. Even though there's a lot going on, there's really not. So I would definitely recommend Invisible Woman for Season 1. Now, I forgot to start with good from last season. Obviously, Luna Mantis, they're good, okay? You guys definitely can play them. Very solid. They're always going to be good with those ultimates. But I want to talk about Cloak and Dagger that got the biggest glow up from obviously last season. A whole extra dash in the support. They can switch faster. Cooldowns are faster. Cloak and Dagger are about to be all over. And I would say, obviously, you don't have to aim with them, so they're easy. But to really perfect them in your overall help for the team, it takes a little bit of commitment compared to some of the other characters. But Cloak and Dagger are just good across the board. If you're a console player, they're one of the best. We saw that in the hot list. But outside of just the healing and the ultimate, I mean, you have good damage and just distraction. They're hard to kill. Cloak's side of the kit is very solid. And if you didn't try him in Season 0, it's the best time to try him now. So there you guys have it. Those are all the people that I think are easily the best to main. The hot and rising from this season, the good from last season. You know, we left off a couple, Hela and Wolverine. There's some good duelists. Too many to really talk about, but these are the ones I wanted to focus on. Drop one or drop your favorite down in the comments below. Would love to read, and I'm going to try to reply to as much as I can. And if you guys haven't already and you enjoy this style of content and want to see mastery guides coming for all these heroes, subscribe down below. One click for you helps me out massively. Have a good one. Have a great one. Till the next one, guys. Happy rivaling.